the absolutely most important aspect of any website, any and every website, is pretty pictures and design. No, just joking. No, obviously, the most important aspect of any website is the content. So everything that you do for the site, the imagery, the layout, and all this is to emphasize your content because that's really why people are there. So, with that in mind, the very first thing that you need to start with is your content and sort of considering what you're going to be doing and how you're going to lay out your content. So, obviously, we're doing a recipe, and I picked spring rolls. So, there was some information gathering that I needed to do. But before, let's even say that I had the details of the recipe over here, I knew some of the bigger functional components of it. And using some very sophisticated software, I developed a mock-up. Yes, good old pen and paper. So I mentioned that this is a mobile first design. And so in with that idea in mind, I come up with sort of like building blocks of what I'm going to have on my website. And these building blocks, when I'm creating, really crude wireframes like I am here, the wireframes I always start in with code, HTML anyway. But I have my notebook it's always next to me, just allows me to quickly formulate some kind of idea over here, and I'm going to go through it with you. First off, I said we're starting mobile first, which means that my thinking starts at this view right here, most narrow as possible. The very first thing that I want to show people is I just put sell it, sort of like your headline, your hook. Why are people there and even viewing what you have? And if someone sees this website from their mobile device, the very first thing I'm trying to show them at this very top fold is, well, obviously I have this imagery over here that's warm and inviting, but I tell them right off the bat, what are they looking at? They're spring roll, the heading is very clear. Here's my little catchy tagline and healthy and delicious. So the very first thing I'm trying to do is sell it. So I made a block, and this actually sits in a div container, not called sell it. I forget what I call it, but obviously we'll work through it. But my very first top concern over here is sort of that hook, that sizzle for my page, right? After I get them to be interested in it and they're going to scroll down, I say connect. Now, there's obviously a bunch of different ways they connect. So maybe sometimes you offer people some kind of social connection, via Facebook, whatever it is. But a very effective marketing strategy for any website is still email. And that's why when I say connect, I'm thinking, well, what do I want to do? Subscribe to our mailing list. I know this is all just fictitious, but for a recipe website, if they like your Thai spring roll recipe, they may be interested in future recipes. So you want to get them to have the option to immediately connect. I mean, maybe you think, oh, maybe I should put it at the bottom. Hey, anytime you have a website, the end goal is to sell something, to hook people into some kind of connection with your product, with your whatever it is. So this is always something that you want to put high up in the chain over here, because it's a very important element. In my opinion, and I find it hard to see a different viewpoint on this. I mean, obviously I'm open to it, but forms are the most important element on a web page because they're the things that actually let you go beyond you presenting something and really allowing you to connect with your audience. So anyhow, so after this sell it and connect, right underneath that is the recipe. Okay, so I have the about the recipe, tells you a little bit about it, obviously the ingredients and the directions on how to make it, all part of the recipe. Then underneath that I have a video. And then underneath that, I have the 3 photos that I'm going to put in. And then right at the very bottom is my footer.